the one, the only, Ben Good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube. Iyun to Lean On another week of Shulchan Aruch Yomi. We start with a long simon, Reish Ayin Aleph today, 271, which talks about a lot of the halachas of Kiddush, especially Kiddush at night. Kiddush at night comes before Kiddush during the day, because Kiddush at night is a mitzvah d'oraisa, Zachar Shem Shabbat Takacho. The Gemara Pesachim on Daf Kuf Yud Zayin says Zachreu al Yayin, right? Which seemingly means that you have to make the Kiddush on wine, on grape juice, right? Which basically tells you that Kiddush b'dvarim, some opinions, or Magen Aram says if you Shmon Esrei and Marav, you say Vayechulu, Makadi Yisrael v'Ashavas, so your Yos already Kiddush unknowingly, and therefore a man who's chayiv only d'Rabbanan now, he can't, Kiddush Aliyan at least d'Rabbanan according to the Magen Avraham, he can't be mostly women because women are chayiv mid'oraisa. That's a problem. But the idea is no, that Kiddush Achrei Aliyan, the wine has to be there. Now, this really goes back to Machlokas over here in Sifya Dalet over here. The Gaonim say that you actually have to drink, the person who makes Kiddush has to drink the requisite share, Mali Lugma, which is a roll of Revi'ah, Rubo Kakula, it's like you drank the Revi'ahs. The other opinions say, but the Eved, you're supposed to be Choshesh for that Shita. But the Eved, Mikra, and Din, technically, if other people, either they combine to drink a Revi'ahs, or one person drinks a Revi'ahs, two different opinions, then you're Yotze, because principally, we don't hold like the Gaon. But the mitzvah of Kiddush, when you say Zachrei al Yayin, you make Kiddush, it has to be Kiddush in the presence of wine. The mitzvah of Kiddush is not the drinking of the wine. They say the bracha and the drink the wine. Drinking the wine is not important, but the wine has to be present. That's why you can't be Yosei. You can't be Yosei Kiddush in Shmona Esrei because the wine's not there, right? However, we see from Malacha Ted Vav, right, that if you made Kiddush, and before you had a chance to drink it, either the wine spilled or you were mafsik b'dibur, so you have to repeat Baruch Ha'Gafim, but you don't have to repeat the bracha of Kiddush, because the mitzvah of Kiddush, which is the bracha of Kiddush, right, you make two brachas on Friday night. One is Baruch Ha'Gafim, the bracha on and then you make the bracha Mekadi Yisrael v'Ashavas, or something like that, I forget the exact words. So that's the bracha of Kiddush Midorai. So it has to be in the presence of wine. So you're mafsik, but there's a presence of wine. It's not totally in. Doesn't depend on you actually drinking the wine. And that's really the mitzvah. Zachreu al hayayin. Zachreu, right? Zachar Shem Shabbat Takacho. Zachreu, the mitzvah of basically Kiddush and Havdalah also, according to the Rambam's D'Oraisa, discusses many times. Kiddush means to sanctify Shabbos. Basically, it means to give prominence, to kriyas moed, to call out to it, to call out loud, proclaim that it's Shabbos. That's the mitzvah of Kiddush, proclamation. And it's a nicer, more celebratory proclamation when it's done al yayin, when it's done on alcohol, when it's done on grape juice. Grape juice better than a lot of wines out there. So it's an important proclamation you're doing when it's in the presence of wine. When it's not in the presence of wine, it's not really a proclamation, and therefore people are makabel Shabbos early. They say, "Hareini makabel Shabbos al atzmi." Technically, that Kabbalah is not a Kabbalah d'oraisa. It's only Kabbalah d'Rabbanan. The true Kabbalah of Shabbos has to be al yayin. It has to be on wine. Havdalah also has to be on wine. It's even more important to have wine for Havdalah than for Kiddush, because technically you can do Kiddush with bread. Because again, you're celebrating Shabbos by having a meal. When you welcome something, you have a meal to welcome it. When someone leaves, you don't necessarily have a meal. Malav Malach is a nice idea, but it's not a chiyuv. At least midoraisa, it's not a chiyuv. So you signify you let Shabbos depart. You escort Shabbos out with wine. Which marks its importance, and you bring Shabbos in, marking its importance of the wine. The drinking of the wine is about enjoyment. That's not really the mitzvah of Zach, because Zach it would say, I wouldn't say in the Ten Commandments, Zachar Shem Shabbat Takacho, it would say, Shosei Yayin, drink wine. Zachrei al Yayin, right? You can't say Zachreu in Shmona Esrei, it's not good. It's Zachrei al Yayin. So Kiddush has to be in the presence of wine, but it does not have to be Shtiyas Yayin, because again, the mitzvah of Zachar is to remember Shabbos al Yayin. It gives it more significance when you're doing it in the presence of wine. That explains why if you're mafsik or it spills, you do not have to repeat the bracha of Kiddush, because it was done in the presence of wine. Now, there's an interesting halacha over here that comes up, halacha Tet Zayin at the end. For years, this has been, it's not a sore point, but I think my brother-in-law, he's pretty learned, and he assumes whatever he knows is the right halacha. So he comes over for Kiddush a lot of times to my mother-in-law's house where I live, and he always insists I make Kiddush, and he always insists that I drink a revius or a moli lugma, a rov revius, before anyone else could drink from their wine, right? A lot of times there's a lot of people at the table, so I'll drink a teeny bit. I'll pour it out, I'll drink a teeny bit, and I'll start, pouring more grape juice in so people can have. There can be 10, 15, 20 people over there. He's always very makbid, drink a moli lugma. If you look at Halakha Ted Zion, it says, Lo yitimah masuvin kodim sheyitam amakadosh. It doesn't say that you have to drink a rov revius. Even though technically in order to be Yotzei Kiddush, you have to drink rov revius because the shear of shtia, of drinking, is a revius. So rubo kikula, drink most of it. But in order for other people to drink, that's berachas hanenin, bar priagafen. When I make a berachas hanenin, I say hamotzi or bar priagafen. Even if I eat a little bit, right, so I'm yotzei, they can be yotzei with me. I don't have to drink the full shear, right? Because the mitzvah of kiddush is not, and you'll counter and you'll say, maybe what about that's the mitzvah of berachas hanenin, bar priagafen, but the mitzvah of kiddush, that you have to drink a revius. So to that I'll say we don't paskin like the Gaon and Mikra din and Mikra. You see it over here that once you're towing, we don't Mikra din paskin like the Gaon, and technically the mitzvah of kiddush on Friday night is to remember Shabbos al yayin in the presence of wine, not to drink the wine. You don't have to drink the rov revius in order for other people to drink. You have to drink a little bit so they can be yotzei with your berachas hanenin. Because first you have to be yotzei, and then you can be multi other people once you started drinking. But there's no obligation to drink rov revius. That's a big chumrah. And sometimes these brother-in-laws, they don't know the halachas. They learn gemaras and they hear a shita that says you have to do it, and they get confused, and they're machmer where they really don't know the halacha. I knew this already beginning. I went through these halachas and I knew exactly what the halacha says, but he still insists on doing this. I spoke it over with the Rosh Kol here. He said you should have a conversation with him. And I do plan on having a conversation with him. I hope you enjoyed today's share. See you in the next one.